Hey everybody, this is Rip One Outdoors. Yeah, we're going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to take a ride, but before we get on the bike and take off, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Going to show y'all how, as my daddy would say, we get all geared up. Hey, we're not trying to send out a directive on how people should do this and what kind of equipment they should wear. What I'm doing is showing you what I do, okay? And y'all know I do things sometimes a little bit different. We got this chest strap here for our GoPro. We got that for, of course there's a link down in the description. We got that for probably price of a couple of picayune hamburgers, frost top hamburgers, so it's not that much. But we put that, and of course we got our mic here, our DJI mic. I'm just using that for recording this video, and then I'll show you where we mount that when we go take a ride. So we put our strap on. Sometimes it's a little cumbersome putting on, making sure everything gets in the right place. Paint can or something on another popping over there. All right, we're going to take our, before we do anything else, we'll take our DJI mic. We'll put this little windscreen on, wind muff, and then we put that right there. That's where our mic goes. We can put it up here, something like that. I'm used to doing it right here. Okay, so we put our GoPro on. Like I say, everybody probably does something a little different, but just showing you how I do it. Sometimes it takes me longer to get geared up than it does to unload the bike and I'll get the bike ready. Ain't my hair pretty frosty looking in that light, huh? I tried doing this outside, but man, you got so many shadows and everything. It's either too bright or either not bright enough. You know how it is with these GoPros. All right, we got a battery in the GoPro. We're fixing to take it out. We're going to set it aside. Then we're going to pull out our little power bank here. I was telling old JT today that I picked this up from Walmart. Steve Crow up in North Louisiana, around West Monroe, kind of hooked me on that thing. Use a little power bank, put my USB-A, hook it up, and I feed this wire through here like this. Seat it back under. I'll probably go to a lot more trouble than what I should. So you see, there's no battery in the GoPro. We feed that wire right into that USB-C right there. And with the power that's, let me get this set. I always wear a bright color shirt, y'all know that. And I always have a shirt on with a pocket. That way I can stick my power bank in there. If I don't have a pocket, if I didn't have a pocket, I would probably put it in my front pocket and just use a longer wire. That's all. What else we got to do? I think that's about it. We got our mic here. We got our GoPro. This will run off this power bank. This power bank will feed this GoPro for hours upon hours upon hours. It ain't gonna run out of power in a good while. So then we would got one of my old trusty helmets here. Put our helmet on. And that's it. We're ready to go. We're going to take the LX 4.0 Mahogo out for a ride today on our lunch break. So y'all hang around, don't go anywhere, but Yeah, we just wanted this to be special. Wanted to show y'all how we gear up, get rigged up to go on our ride. Uh, it's it, it kind of looks like a little weird, but that's okay. That's all right. We're enjoying it. We're gonna go out and limber up our legs a little bit, and y'all hang around, grab something, and hang on. Let's roll that intro, and we'll see y'all out on the bike. Okay, here we go, y'all. So where are we going today? You know, I'll tell you where we're going. We're going to limber up my legs some. That's about all I got to say about that. I've been sitting at that desk too long this morning. I've been looking out that window, and I told my wife, I said, it's too pretty not to go ride today. So while we're out riding, let's just ride on over and check out the Loves and see how they doing on that. And then we'll see what else we can get into. What other kind of trouble? Yeah, we're riding the Mahogo LX 4.0. I guess it was the next in the rotation. You know, I try to keep them riding. This bike has a dual battery system. It has a battery built in the frame, or removable from the frame, let me say it that way. And then it has a big battery there behind the thing. Maybe I'll stop over in a little while over and show y'all. How you doing, bud? Good. Don't like the looks of that. But I won't get into that. So yeah, I decided I've been running just one battery. You know, that's the luxury of this bike, is that you can use two batteries, or you can use one battery. Whatever you prefer to do. And for a long time there, I just run the one battery. Man, I was going 28 miles per hour there. Yeah, for a while there, I was just running the one battery. So the battery on the rear, I just had the one in the frame. I had it out and had it laying there on the shelf. Well, I decided, you know, it's probably doing it more harm than good by laying it up on the shelf. So I decided, let's just put it back in the bike and let's ride it, you know. Try to find my way across. Try to find my way across the road here. Well, they got a lot of action over yonder. Anyway, but y'all see the Loves there. Let me see, I can give you a little bit better view by going right here. Yeah. So there y'all go. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over into the parking lot there today like I did last time. But they got the truck center built back there, tire center, and they coming along real good. I think I already got the power on in that building, because I've been seeing some lights in there. And yeah, Loves is coming along. Hey, probably a couple months from now, we'll be buying some gas over there. Getting them some of that chicken they're gonna be selling up in there. Had a good time at the cruising the coast, y'all. Really did. That was this weekend. I actually went down there 3 or 4 times this week, past week. Really enjoyed that. Have a good one, bud. Of course, by the time you see this one, you will have seen the video that I put out about cruising the coast. It's probably not one of, I mean, if I had to go back and redo it, I would change some things up about the way I did it, but I don't know, y'all. I mean, I do the best I can with what I got to work with, you know. Number one, I went and shot a bunch of film down there. And as we said, y'all have already seen that by now, but I went and shot a bunch of film, or shot a video there in the festival itself where all the cars were parked. And they was playing music. Well, I didn't know it. Well, I loaded it up to YouTube. I'm fixing to stop and show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all this old house is here. This is my Uncle Robert's old house. But I'm gonna tell y'all a little story here in a little while about this house, okay? That's one of the oldest houses in the community here. But getting back to the story about the cruising, is I'd come back and put it and went through with my DaVinci Resolve and got it edited the best I could. I'm not a professional editor, I can tell you, but I did the best I could with it. But yeah, they was playing some music down there, and I didn't get a copyright strike, but I got a but it told me that I couldn't use music. I couldn't use that part of the video. I was gonna have to cut it out. Well, if I cut it out, that was kind of like the meat of the thing. So what I did is I went in there and I just turned the volume off in that area, and then I added a little bit of music, background music, which I realized some people don't like that, but hey, it was either that or either just nothing. I couldn't remember the year models of the cars and trucks to come back and tell you what they were, but a little old chicken there did. Let's see where the horses is at here. Well, there ain't no horse. Yeah, I see them back over yonder somewhere. Well, it's as good a place as any. I told y'all I was gonna show y'all the LX4 here. I mean, there's one battery. I told y'all about it. This is the biggest battery. I don't remember all the specs about it. 16 amp hour, 48 volt, 16 amp hour. So that's a pretty good sized battery. And if I'm not mistaken, this one's 12 amp hour that's up in the frame. So and it's got some kind of intelligent switching thing that knows when needs to take power from one battery and add it and whatever. I don't understand all that. I'm not into that part of it, but hey, yeah, it's a nice, let's see, last time I was riding it, I had my basket on the front. I since took the basket off, and then y'all remember the headlight fell off over here on the road. Yeah, that was on Mahogo's part. That was bad, some bad welding. Remember I said it looked like it was welded on Friday or something or another. But we got the headlight back on. That thing heavy. It's like an old seal beam. Y'all remember them old seal beams on them old trucks? So let's get took back off again. But yeah, the Mahogo LX4, really nice bike. I think this is one of the heavier built bikes as far as heavy people can ride this thing. I mean, I think it will handle up to 350 some odd pounds or so, if not more. Maybe 400 pounds. It's got a good weight capacity there. So we're just heading on over the road now. Figure we might ride over to the pasture, look, see what the cows is doing. So I showed y'all Uncle Robert's old house there. I think his son rents it now or something or another. But when we grew up, that was just another home to us. Uncle Robert, he was one of the He was just a fun person to be around. I don't know how to describe him, but he was just a fun person. Always hollering, cutting up, and he did more with us young'uns than a lot of people would ever do in their lifetime. And we weren't even his sons; we were his nephews. But yeah, he had several nephews. Me and my cousins and all. We'd knock around with him and do things. I'll tell you what he would do. One thing he would do, every year about summertime, we would all load up and go down to Pontchartrain Beach, which was like a theme park thing down at New Orleans, out on Lake Pontchartrain. And he'd take us down there, and we'd all load up in the back of his old Chevrolet truck. He had a 70 model Chevrolet, long wheelbase, had a camper on it. We'd all get in the back of that old camper, and he'd haul us to New Orleans to go to Pontchartrain Beach. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something, that was a big deal for us kids. I mean, we never got to go anywhere, hardly. I'm not discounting our parents and all, they took us places. But Uncle Robert, he just went over. He went above and beyond sometimes to do things. He had an old Ford 8N tractor. It's parked up under that shed back there, and the weeds growed up around it. And he had an old pallet that he mounted on one of his lifts. And he'd load us up with a couple watermelons, and we would go down to the river down there behind the church, a place called Knox Sticker. Look, you can near about walk across that river right now as low as the water is. But at that time, they used to, way back yonder, they used to run steamboats up and down that river. Well, not no more. But Uncle Robert would take us down there, we'd go swimming. And if we didn't have swimming trunks, we'd go in naked. I mean, it was a common thing. I think I just jumped a deer back there. Got to keep my eyes on the road. Don't let no deer distract me. Yeah, who was it? Candace, I believe, told me her and Grayson was coming over the road, and there was a spike buck walked out in front of them. Well, it's getting that time, y'all. Deer season's right around the corner. Everybody's planting their food plots. And getting ready. But yeah, Uncle Robert. I told y'all that about Uncle Robert, but what I meant to tell y'all is before Uncle Robert lived there, there was a man by the name of Mr. J. Brazil lived there. And my Uncle Prentis, Uncle Prentis was he was a cat. Now he clowned around. I don't remember Uncle Prentis. Uncle Prentis died before I was born. But Daddy said he was always a joker. Always clowning around with the family doing things, pranking them. I guess, yeah, nowadays they call them pranks. Yeah, this looks good. Let's ride down. I just heard something rustling in the bushes there. But Daddy and them, when they was kids, they grew up in this old house. I know many of y'all have seen the picture of the house, but for the newcomers, I'm gonna put a picture of that house right up here that they grew up in. There was 13 of them, 13 young'uns. And you know, for entertainment back then, look out, Mr. Squirrel. I don't want to run over you. For entertainment back then, there wasn't much to do unless they played around in the yard there, in the old dirt yard. So Daddy said some of them would get together and they'd walk to Picayune and catch the picture show. Yeah, I mean, that was the only way they could get around. I told y'all before that the only way Daddy could get around, if he wasn't walking somewhere, he had to borrow Uncle Marvin's bicycle. Well, Uncle Marvin had a bike that what was that? That was a little old baby rabbit. I near about run over that thing. I certainly don't want to run over him. Let me go see where he went to. He run out of that green grass right there. There you go, Mr. Rabbit. Good thing, I tell you what, good thing I had brakes. I popped them brakes on that thing. I didn't want to run over that little rabbit. He run right out from under my tire like that, right out under my tire. Anyway, interrupted the story. Where was I? Oh, Uncle Daddy. So Daddy and them went to town. Him and probably a couple of his brothers, maybe sisters, and they was walking back, and it had got near about dark. Right over there on the same bridge where I told y'all Daddy was riding Uncle Marvin's bicycle when he hit the horse on the bridge. And yeah, Daddy said Uncle Prentis had come in from work, and he was on his way home, and he happened to look over his shoulder, and he happened to see all that bunch of young'uns, and he recognized them as being his own family, and he decided he was going to have them a little fun with them. And he got down on the side of that bridge, and by the time they got there to him, it was getting close to dark. And they said he had on an old big long coat. I think he maybe called it a cloak, you know, like a overcoat or something. And they say he raised up on the side of that bridge, and he let out a bearcat yell. And all that bunch, he scared them. There was a sight to behold. There was a cow sitting down there in the water, and he had one of them white egrets sitting on his back. That's the one we saw up here that I said we could fill our freezer with him. See that? Or her, rather. Look at that. She's down there in the water, splashing around. Pretty cows. So, Daddy said he scared them young'uns so bad that they all took out a running. And they run. If you can picture, we just come by the church there. You can picture, you know, from there up that hill and then back up the road there, up the A.C. McQueen Road there. And when they got to Mr. Jaber Seal's house, he was the only house at that time on that road. And said they decided that he would be the first one that they need to stop and try to tell them that somebody tried to mess with them. And they said, well, Uncle Herman told it like this. Uncle Herman said whenever they got to Mr. Jabers' house, he had a white picket fence. Said when they got there, said he said they didn't even open the gate of that fence. Said they knocked some of them fence panels down. Uncle Herman said they took out 3 panels. Took out 3 fence panels to try to get in there, and they said they was hollering the whole time, Mr. Jabers, Mr. Jabers. And he said they run up to the door. You know, nobody locked their door back then. I think just went right on up in the house with him, and him standing there hollering, what in the world? And they told him it was some kind of old boogeyman or something down there by the bridge that tried to scare them. Well, they found out later on it was Uncle Prentis, and Uncle Prentis was pulling a prank on them. Just trying to scare them. But yeah, they come up, and I think they had to go back over there the next day and fix Mr. Jaber Seals' fence. And Uncle Herman said they tore down 3 panels of it. Because they said it was like, if you ain't got a hole in the fence, where do you want one? And they said them boys hit that fence so hard, they just knocked it completely down. But that's the old house. That's the same house. I don't know. I'm gonna try to age that for y'all. Maybe the early 30s, something like that, during the Depression, maybe. Yeah. And that old house is still there. I mean, it's still going strong. And but yeah, Uncle Prentis was a prankster. And I'll tell you something else Uncle Prentis did. You can imagine the young'uns all sleeping, probably 3 or 4 of them in the same bed. Some of them sleeping at the foot of the bed. Some of them turned opposite directions. I mean, you just imagine. And Daddy said, Uncle Prentis, you know, well, they didn't have no power. There wasn't no, you couldn't get up and flip no lights on. And all they had was old coal oil lamps. But Daddy told us, said that one day Uncle Prentis caught a possum on the side of the road. And he brought that possum, he stuck that possum in a sack, and he brought that possum up there and walked in the house after dark. And Uncle Robert was laying in the bed. It was either Uncle Robert or Uncle Marvin, one or the other. And he set that possum up in the bed with him. That started a big fight. And said another time, Uncle Prentis come put a snake in the bed with some of them. I don't know, it was Uncle Toxie or Robert, Marvin, I don't know. But you imagine all this happening back then. An old house full of young'uns. Like I say, it's 13 kids. Back then, people had a lot of young'uns, I guess, to work the farms and all. We always enjoyed, I wish Daddy was here to tell y'all that, tell y'all them stories. Y'all would enjoy hearing Daddy tell that. Especially when Daddy got together with his brothers. When he got together with them brothers, I tell you what, the stories would come out. And I can't tell it nowhere near like some of them can, but I hope y'all enjoyed that. It's just talking about old times, y'all. Nowadays, wouldn't nobody think about putting a possum in the bed with somebody or putting a snake in the bed with somebody. Oh, I can't help but laugh just thinking about it. But I never knew Uncle Prentis. He died before I was born, but I'd have liked to know the man. Know what kind of a fellow he was. Sounded like he was a firecracker. Yeah, I'm sure glad I didn't run over that little baby rabbit. I seen some dust over there a while ago. I thought it looks like Billy Wayne loading some trucks. We running along here about 16.9 mile per hour. I think we're in number 2, pedal assist 2. Which I always felt there was kind of, there's a big jump between pedal assist 1 and pedal assist 2. But it's manageable for me. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not a gradual, you know, it's a little bit of an assertive takeoff when you go into 2 and especially 3. When you go into 3, it takes you right on up to 21. I think that's something that could be redesigned, but look, I'm gonna say it like this. I'd buy the bike today because it's a good bike. And then some of y'all newcomers and may not know, but that's the old Minna over yonder across the pond over there. That's the Minna. You remember the Minna from Gilligan's Island? There it is, right yonder. It's run aground on the shore. Yeah, this old pond's about dried up. Still got a lot of water in it, but I'll tell you right now, it's getting drier and drier. I believe they said we were 26 inches behind in rain this year. 26 inches behind. And it's got everything dying, you know. And I went down to Bay St. Louis, and I'm going to tell you, that looked like some Nicholson champagne down there. Y'all know what Nicholson champagne is? There's an old bottle down there on the ground. Nicholson champagne. That's Dr. Tishner's. When the back, you know, I guess I'm not gonna say the old days, because I remember when I used to go in Miss Laverne's old store, there was men come in there and buying Dr. Tishner's, and I'd ask Mama, I said, Mama, what are they using them Dr. Tishner for? I said, that man, I always see him in there buying Dr. Tishner, and Mama said he drinks it. That's why they call it Nicholson Champagne, because Nicholson is a little town right up there across the bridge from the Loves there. I was gonna sign off, but let's just run to the airport and we'll just sign off over there. How about that? Like I say, he didn't have any particular reason for going out riding, but do you have to have a reason? I mean, I just wanted to limber my legs up, get out and enjoy this beautiful blue sky today. Yeah, it was, here you go, Joe Rides, it was 46 here this morning. Can you believe that? 46. On Cooter Ridge. It's like somebody's patching or painting some spots on the road. Look like they're fixing to patch some roads there. They need to. I like that bell right there. That's one of them little Temu bells. Yeah, you find my Temu video a couple months back that I did, you'll find the link to that Temu bell. I think about $1 a piece for them things. I ordered 5 or 6 of them. So what's everybody doing for e-bikes right now? Maybe I can talk about e-bikes for a minute. Y'all watching for some sales to come out? What y'all think you're gonna be seeing for maybe Black Friday's coming up, and probably the next event, Black Friday? What y'all thinking we're gonna be seeing? I can tell you, as I told y'all a couple weeks ago, I can tell you what I've already seen. Who was it? KBO. I've seen KBO. they've already jacked the price up on some of their bikes. I guess they fixing to have them a Black Friday sale and jack them back down. That's usually the way it goes. Jack it up and then jack it back down. Make you think you're getting a bargain. I think that's kind of the way, that's the way a lot of them do. Me and Joey was talking about Black Friday this morning. We're thinking about doing another Longleaf Trace ride. We'd go up to, we're gonna go up to the Longleaf Trace up in Hattiesburg. That's an hour north of here. And we're gonna do a Longleaf Trace ride. We're gonna get Donald back down with us. Old Mike Pate, he's up there in Brandon. So we'll get Mike back. Mike, he'll go ride with us. Look at that blue sky, y'all. Ain't that pretty? You got leaves falling. There's the helicopter operations for Chevron there. They service all the helicopters, service all the drilling rigs out in the Gulf. Yeah, I thought I'd ride down this way. You might see a jet coming in or a plane coming in. There've been a lot of planes flying this morning. I guess pretty weather. Pretty weather. People want to get out and go for a flight. I know if I had an airplane, I'd probably want to fly too. Alrighty. We'll get turned around here and we'll show y'all that's Mr. and Miss Southern eBiking's jet right yonder. They're in town for a horse show or something or other. I couldn't resist it. Southern eBiking, he's been under the weather, and we thinking about you and we're praying for you, Blaine and Michelle, as y'all go through a few trials there. But we praying everything will be fine for you here in a day or so. You'll be back out. And I know you are because I saw you out this morning doing a video. So hoping things continue improving for you. So with that being said, I guess we'll say our goodbyes here. As always, y'all, there'll be a link there in the description if you like the looks of this old Mahogo bike here. LX 4.0. Check it out. I think I got a discount code in there in my description for you. If I don't, I should have. I'll put my email down there in case anybody's got any questions about this bike, the Bandit bike, Magicycle bikes, the scooter that I did. Got a lot of things there. So anybody's got a question, somebody asked me a question about that little scooter, and I had good things to say about it. I hope she buys one. I hope she enjoys it. So yeah, y'all got any questions? Give me a shout by email, and I'll be quick to answer you. Y'all know the rest of the story. Hit that like and that subscribe if you hadn't already done it. And from old Rip One Outdoors, we'll catch y'all on the next one. We thank y'all for watching.